I'm Jim Vanderstig and I'm the CEO of Covenant Health. I just want to take a couple moments and celebrate two really exciting things that I've seen at Covenant over the last several months. One has been the incredible creativity of the people that work at Covenant, finding better ways to take care of patients during this time. And the second part is the volunteer attitude that I've seen across the organization where people have been willing to step in during this time of crisis. I want to give you a couple examples of some of the creativity I've seen across the company over the last couple weeks as I've spent time out at the hospitals and across our system. One of them was when I went to Fort Sanders Regional and I spent some time in the emergency room with that team. And I was taken into the back area and I saw a unique device one of our ER physicians had created, Dr. Brock. And what he had done is he had created a UV box, which was a way to take masks, and after people had used them, after staff had used them, they could put these masks in the box, hit them with UV light, and then 15 minutes use these masks again. What an incredible way to save our very important PPE during this time. I remember going to one of our hospitals and seeing a group of people that were using material that wraps our surgical packs that in the past we would throw that away. They were actually using that material to make masks. Again, a unique way to save things, and one of those things I hope we keep as we go forward. One of the other examples I want to talk about creativity, and in all honesty I saw this at every hospital I went to, was that the clinical staff had sat down with the folks in plant operations and said, could you create us a way to protect our staff and our employees during the time that we're treating COVID patients. I saw this in registration where they created plexiglass screens. I also saw it for surgical patients, a way that they could take care of the patients and also protect the staff at the same time. And it was amazing creativity. I also want to mention how proud I am of the staff, the teammates across Covenant, what we've done to help protect patients and as well as our staff during this time. One of the things that we've done in every entrance that you enter into Covenant Health, there's a screener there, and those screeners do temperature checks, they take a brief little history, and then if you pass, you get a sticker and you get to go in. We've also done things in terms of visitation, and some of this has been a little bit difficult. We've limited visitation during this time, again, to protect patients, to protect our staff. So again, if you go into any Covenant facility, you're going to see a standard that has really been raised as a way to protect our staff and the patients as well. One of the things I want to share with you is an example of how our staff has really stepped up during this time. Very early on, when COVID was really starting to explode in the communities across the United States, I had a chance to start visiting the hospitals, and I'll never forget when I went into Park West. They took me to the unit that was set up to specifically take care of COVID patients. And I'd ask you to remember again, during this time, we didn't know a lot about COVID. We didn't know long-term what it would do. But they took me into the unit and I got introduced to some staff members. And what I found out about those staff members, every one of them that was working there had asked to work in that unit. They had asked to be put in a position to take care of those patients. And I had a chance to talk to them and they said, this is what we do and this is what we're about. And I just tell you, I saw that as I visited across our company. I saw that same attitude of volunteering to take care of people, putting people above themselves all across our organization, which made me proud to be part of this organization. Yeah, one of the things we say at Covenant in our vision is that we want to be first and best choice, and we want to be first and best choice for those we serve, but we also want to be first and best choice for our employees. One of the exciting things that we did, and we did this across the whole company, was we created a unique fund to help employees during this time. It was called the COVID We Care Fund, and we ended up funding this to the tune of over $2 million, and we actually spent over $2 million helping employees during this time of crisis. One of the most rewarding experiences I had is when I went out and visited one of the hospitals. I was sitting across from one of the managers and she said this to me. She said, I don't think you know how much this meant to people. She said, do you mind if I take a moment? I said, would you please do that? And here's what she said to me. You helped us feed our employees and their families during this time. And I can tell you, there's a whole lot of things that are important, a whole lot of things that are wonderful, a whole lot of things we want to do, but feeding people's families, I couldn't imagine something more rewarding than that. One of the things that I discovered during this time is how much Covenant means to the community and watching how the community has responded to us during this pandemic. During this time, we've had people come and bring our staff food. We've had cars drive around our facilities and pray over our staff. Actually, we've had over 10,000 masks donated to our organization to make sure that we could do things to take care of our patients. And so during this time, one of the things that has excited me is to see that our community really does recognize, East Tennessee really does recognize what we mean to them during this time. What I have been so impressed with is the way that not only has our staff stepped up and seen once again improving to our communities in a time of crisis, we're the ones you can count on. And so you can count on Covenant. I think they've seen this. I've also been so excited to see the way the community and East Tennesseans have stepped up and recognized the reality of what we mean to them every day.